Well, hello and welcome along to what I'm going to affectionately call the first day of my Manaslu official training. Yeah, I mean, pretty much every mountain I do is training for my next big trip back to Nepal, which I have now put out into the world, and I am feeling extremely excited about the prospect of documenting a lot more of my my journey towards that. But yeah, welcome along to another video. As you've probably guessed, I'm using the 360 camera from the off, and that's another reason for me wanting to document today specifically. I want to see what this camera's capable of. It's not going to be like a full review by any means, and I'm certainly not going to be talking about like setting specific or anything like that, but I just want to use it more and see how I feel. And often when I do pieces to camera like this, I'm using my phone and my little microphone, which I have all that with me, but I just want to see how the Insta360 X4 fails when it comes to me talking to it, and also when it comes to like picking up the audio. Today the forecast is quite calm. It's cloudy, which you can probably see. The tops are very much in cloud, and I think that's the way they're going to stay today. But it's to be calm. It's not to be very windy at all. So yeah, it's going to be one of these days where I don't think we're going to be treated to magnificent views, but I think it will be beautifully atmospheric. I've came to an area that I have frequented many times before. Most recently, I was here towards the tail end of last year with my pal Alan, and we were actually on the opposite side of where I am now. This might be a little giveaway, but it's a very well known area, very popular area that has some excellent mountains and a wonderfully popular and famous ridge, which I don't know if I'm going to do today. I'll make that decision once I get to the top of the Manaslu that I'm going up. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy this one. So I'm now in the Clag, and the Clag has descended upon us far quicker than I anticipated it doing. However, above me there might just be little glimpses of blue, so I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that maybe somewhere higher up in this mountain we might possibly get a little break, or even just tip above the cloud. I'm hoping. But yeah, I guess one of the big things that I've yet to really talk about is what my training is going to consist of. And well, a lot of this, a lot of mountains, a lot of Munros, and a hell of a lot of Corbetts. Who has missed me? I'll find out in a wee second. But yeah, I think mountains are the #1 priority between now and departing for the trip at the end of August. It's just about trying to get mountains in the legs, and I'm quite lucky that I tend to try and average at least one Munro trip a week, and sometimes that consists of like multiple Munros. This year I do want to add in more wild camping trips. It's something that I really enjoy. and it's something that I just don't do enough of. There's a couple of videos on the channel, but I really would like to do more of that as well. And on top of all of that, I'm also going to be starting a gym regime with a PT, and it's really going to be focusing on movement, flexibility, core strength, and sort of overall body strength, with the view to losing about between 10 and 15% of my body weight, so that I can get down to a much leaner shape. It's not that I'm like unfit, I don't think. I think I am reasonably fit considering the amount of mountains and running that I do just now, but I would like to drop the pounds and become a bit leaner, so that's the plan. So yeah, I think there's going to be loads of interesting stuff. How to document that, I've not quite figured it out, but what I know is I am going to document it over a series of videos. It won't just be like one video, I think it will be over a series of videos, so I can get a real good scope of my own progression over the next sort of 6 to 7 months. But yeah, that's the plan, I think. But for now, I should probably stop yapping and crack on up this mountain. Oh, it has turned mightily cold. And as you can probably see, there's a really beautiful frost on the ground now. And we're now above 900 metres. I've made really good time. I've not been going too fast, I've just been going at a really steady pace. But I've made really good progress and really good time. And yeah, we're up at 900 metres. Not far away from the first little top on the way to the summit of the Munro. And yeah, it's turned really beautiful. Oh, there we go, first minor top gained. Oh, I think that's about 940. So over Munro height, but not a Munro, just a minor top. Oh, I can see the Munro in front of me. Oh, it's just above the cloud. Oh my goodness, if I can get up there and hopefully be above the cloud, oh, I think this is going to be pretty epic. That's tricky with one hand. That is a really beautiful fog bow. At least I think that's what it would be called. If I'm wrong, you can correct me in the comments. But it's amazing how these things just sort of appear in front of you. Feels like they just appeared out of nowhere. It's pure magic. That's what the Scottish Highlands is. Oh, when it's winter time, and especially with this little bit of clag, it really does just amp up the mystery and the wonder that surrounds some of these places. Yeah, really quite special. And I would argue a perfect place to be training for 8,000 metre peaks. Alright, we don't have the altitude, but we certainly do have some cracking mountains. escort with a bunch of people ahead of me. 2 groups. I wonder what time they set off. Really not far away from the summit. Oh, and this last little section, it's quite steep, but absolutely beautiful. And this little dusting of frost is making it very interesting indeed. I do have my crampons with me. I decided to leave the ice axe in the car because we're still in that weird little hot thaw that's happening. But after today, there's another storm moving in, and with that it's going to bring low temperatures and lots of rain. So I think we'll see a proper return to winter conditions over the next week or two once that comes in and consolidates. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But for now, there's no real major risk here, it's just a bit of frost. Oh my goodness, it is beautiful. Well, here we go, making our way along the final summit ridge to the summit.
Hi, are you okay?
How you doing? What the hell, it's a sucking off street up here. Man. Welcome to the summit, if you haven't already guessed, of Mial Nan Tarmacan, here in the Lors mountain range, and we're at 1,044 metres above sea level. Now, when I arrived here at the summit, I was quite lucky. We were just above the clouds, and I thought I'm going to try and get the drone up, try and get some nice shots while I can. And I tried to get the drone up, and I got some error messages, and it sort of landed. And I noticed on the propellers and on the body that ice had started forming in, in the space of 2 or 3 minutes. And I think because of that, I couldn't get it up. So I've not been able to get the drone footage that I might have wanted up here. But that does not take away from this absolutely incredible place. And when I did first arrive here, it was very busy. There was a few people, and I chatted for a wee bit, and then they've all made their way onto the rest of the ridge, and some people have headed back. I've not fully decided what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to take a perch, have a cup of tea, and make an assessment of what I fancy doing for the rest of this morning. But yeah, what a place, even in the cloud, absolutely magical. Oh, it's a nice wee perch. And obviously I've had to put my puffy on because it's pretty cold up here. Oh, and the wind, while it's not as ferocious as it was in my last video, it has picked up, and it's just bringing an extra chill factor. But this hot cup of tea should hopefully sort me out nicely. And it's not a fancy tea today, it's just a good old breakfast tea, but it is strong, and I did put a bit of honey in it. For some extra sweetness on what I thought would be a bit of a miserable day, but it's actually turned out to be pretty wonderful. I really am hoping that this is a return to winter, because I've had some cracking days this winter season so far. And last week's adventure on Ancastial with no snow was just super disappointing. So yeah, I hope with the storm coming in, yes, it's probably going to keep me in the house for a week, but you know, once it does its dumping of snow, I think we should hopefully see some more wintry and exciting conditions, which is exactly what I need, because I think that's a really, really good test of myself, especially, you know, now that I'm committed to climbing an 8,000 metre mountain this year. Having wintry experiences, using my crampons, using my axe, and putting into practice some of the skills that I already learned in big mountains, but also trying to learn some other skills while I'm here in Able. And yeah, so that's the hope. That is the hope, and hopefully that will happen before too long. But yeah, I'm just going to enjoy this place for a few minutes longer. The clag is completely on us. There's no views. You were seeing Ben Lawers and Ben Glass, but now you're not seeing anything. And I think that probably has contributed to the drone being unfunctional with this cloud. Like, cloud is water vapour, so it's not terribly surprising. And with this wind chill, and you know that it is -3, maybe -4 here, so I'm not terribly surprised that the drone just, you know, gave up the ghost because it was too cold. Humans give up when it's too cold, so why shouldn't the drone? But yeah, let's just enjoy this cuppa for a wee minute longer. Oh, that was magic. So I think with the low cloud, the freezing conditions, the malfunction equipment, I think I'm going to call it here. One and done today. I'm not going to continue on the ridge. I'm not going to take in any other Munros. I'm just going to enjoy this for what it is, an absolutely fantastic day in the Scottish Highlands on a fantastic Munro in really, really interesting conditions. Yeah, not exactly what I was expecting. I genuinely thought it was going to be in cloud all day, so just to have that brief moment on the summit, cloud free, was magical. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure soon.